All right, here's a fun experiment. I made a very high-tech jig to basically calculate deflection on the carbon fiber core rods that I put inside the necks, like this, before carving out the slot for the truss rod. People were asking, can you put a truss rod? Is it too stiff? Is it going to do anything? Well, answer is easy. For me, it always makes sense to have more adjustments. It always makes sense to be able to further adjust relief on a neck, because players are different. The way they punch, the way they attack the strings, the way they pick is completely different. And depending on the strings you're using, the gauge, the tension, the tuning, sometimes you actually want the neck to be not too flat. So here's what I came up with. I buy tubes like this, nothing fancy, emptied out, and I make dowels, and then I fill these tubes with the dowels of wood, depending on what you want. It can be mahogany, maple, basswood, spruce, whatever you want. What you come up with is actually a support system that's gonna, react or stiffen your neck in 3 axes. It actually prevents warping like this. It also prevents this, and it also prevents compression. So 1, 2, 3 axes. But you still want to be able to give it some relief or not. So here's what I came up with. My low gauge here is set to 0. And when you press on the tube, it changes. What I want to do is compare these tubes with 2 regular carbon rods that we normally use for necks. And since they're not in the tube form or in the U shape, they are way less reliable in terms of the evenness of the stability throughout the width, the length, and the thickness of the neck. Test 1. What I do is I apply this 5-pound training thing to my jig, set it flat at the same spot each time and marked it, and then we check the deflection. We went from 0 thousandths of an inch to about shy of 12 thousandths of an inch. So that's the deflection on this setup with my tubes, with a 5-pound weight at the end of this lever system. Let's see what we can come up with the other setup. All right, the new setup's in. Here are installed the standard carbon rods that we use. Most people use the thinner ones and taller. I use square ones that are stiffer and easier to use with, especially for rounding the channel. So let's see how they compare. We normally put 2 in neck, so I get 2 mounted on my setup, same distance, same thing, same lever, set to 0 with the 5-pound weight. We went from 0 to minus 30 thousandths of an inch. That's actually almost 3 times more deflection that we get with my tubes, with the tube core. That's crazy. So bottom point is, you still have enough room to adjust it with a truss rod when you get the system I use. But in terms of preventing the neck from warping or twisting or compressing, these aren't really doing anything great about it. And they're pretty flexible, and if I can show you, I will lightly tap with my finger and it just moves drastically. And I've tested those for years. I've been using them for 25 years, I've used them on base necks. They're worthless. It doesn't work well. So when something doesn't work, you have to find a solution. And my solution is these things. Thanks for watching.